Hi everyone. How are we doing? I don't think you guys can hear anything right now. Hold on one moment. Let me take a look. Why don't you guys hear anything? I've been trying to figure out this whole audio issue for like the past like 5 minutes. Um, we might have to just go to the stream without music, but you know what? That's fine. Oh, never mind. There we go. Of course, the moment I hit stream. There we go. We have music. Hi Nick. Hi Onyx. Hi Beetle. Scooby-Doo lore? Nah, I'm not smart enough for lore. I'm just gonna be yapping. Almost forgot to turn on my fan. There we go. Alrighty. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! How do we start this? First things first, I finished Mystery Incorporated. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. Okay. I don't... how should I start? From the beginning? At the end? First of all, let's just say I really like the characters. I really like the characters. The characters are great. I mean, I figured that, like, because this was gonna be, you know, this was a show that actually had stories, so they had to have a personality. But it's nice that they have a personality. Start from the beginning and at the end. Wow, that's such wise words. Hi, Bella. Oops, wrong. Most fans call it the best version of the gang. I wouldn't know. I actually haven't watched a lot of like the Scooby-Doo, any of the Scooby-Doo series. I started with What's New Scooby-Doo? Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And I wasn't gonna watch Mystery Incorporated because I don't know. I've been seeing people like not like it whenever I looked it up online. So I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't watch it. Because like people were saying that they didn't like Velma. And after watching the show, I do agree that she's a lot more sly. I mean, her character is definitely very interesting. Hey Horde, what made me start? I don't think there was anything really that made me start. I think no, it was because I was trying to sleep one night and I tend to sleep best when there's like a mindless, like something mindless going on. So I was just scrolling through YouTube trying to look for something to watch. Like usually I go for something that I've already watched before, like Mythbusters, Good Mythical Morning, something like that I can just play in the background. But then I saw, you know, those like live streams from companies that are like 24-hour live stream of the best Scooby-Doo episodes. You know those ones? That's I clicked on one of them and I got sucked in, but what I didn't realize was even though it was like, oh, the best Scooby-Doo episodes, it was only the highlights. And I was like, I want to see the full thing. Like, don't just give me the highlights. I want to know what happens. So I ended up searching up Scooby-Doo episodes, so I watched the full thing. For some reason, you hate the Scooby-Doo Where Are You intro? They had multiple intros. They had the same intro for season 1 and then season 2, and then season 3 they changed the intro, I believe. It was but yeah, I ended up so the entirety of season 1 I believe is on YouTube. And then after I finished season 1 on YouTube, I was like, how do I watch season 2? How do I watch season 2? So I ended up Googling how to search it up, and then people were like, "Oh, you should watch like on Reddit and stuff." It was like, "Oh, Mystery Incorporated," da, da, da. And I was like, "Mystery Incorporated? I've never heard of this before." But then, so some people say it was really good. Some people hated it. I'm on the side of like I really liked it. But yeah, the reviews I saw were like, "Oh, I don't like Velma. Velma's really mean, especially to Shaggy. You know, she doesn't like that Shaggy and Scooby are like 1+1." And I was like, "What?" But like, Shaggy and Scooby are like a dynamic duo, you know? You can't have one without the other. I don't know if I like it if the show's trying to push it so that the characters I love are like going against each other. So I was really on the fence about watching it, and then you guys were like, "It's really good." That's not what Velma means at all, and I was like, "Okay, maybe I should give it a shot." And I'm glad I did, because I haven't stopped talking about it since I started. My cousin and my friends are probably all so sick of me. Like, every time I see them, I'm like, "So you'll never guess what I started watching." Like, obviously, my sisters were the first one I told. They kind of grew up on Archie's Weird Mystery, which is kind of, which is very similar to Mystery Incorporated. It just doesn't have like the overarching storyline, I think. But I think from the very beginning, I liked. Okay, the first episode, it already got me because it made references to Where Are You, Scooby Doo? Like the Minor 49er, Captain. What's his name? Like Captain Cook or something? What else is it? Yeah, they brought back a few of the characters from Where Are You, Scooby Doo season 1, and I was like, yes, I was like, I know that reference. Why is my naps on? The heck? Why is my nap on? Okay. Yes, I love my references. If Velma was its own thing, it probably no one would have a problem with it, but it's a Scooby-Doo show with no Scooby-Doo. Huh? But yeah, I was like, I get that reference. I love this. First episode, that's how they got me. Oh my god, I'm such a sucker for references. Anything has a reference to something I've already watched before, and I'm like, yes! Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull up like the episode list so I know what order I'm going in. Another thing I kind of liked about it was that it wasn't, how do I say it? Like, it has an overarching story, but it's very drip fed, I would say. It's like it's not focused on the overarching story. I thought that as we went along in the show, the episodes were gonna focus all on the overarching like planispheric disc mystery. I'm kind of glad that it still stuck to its like daily monster situation, just with a small twist. Because I guess it is like, you know, it's a show for kids, so I'm not. I guess they didn't. It's the overarching story is like not too. Okay, honestly, the overarching story is a lot more complex than I was expecting. Like, I guess I went into this thinking like, oh, Scooby-Doo is for kids. It's a kids show, which it is. Like it, especially the whole, villain of the day type of thing. But the overarching story was still a lot more complex. Like it had to do with like, multiple different groups, and then you were introduced to multiple different groups. And I guess I was just surprised by how complex it got. It's not just good versus evil. It's not just the current Mystery Incorporated versus the previous Mystery Incorporated. It was that yes, it was Mystery Incorporated versus original Mystery Incorporated, but then there's also the previous iterations from like different cultures. And yeah, exactly. It's not just villain of the week. It's someone is manipulating it so that the villain of the week has something to do with the overarching story. I have never been able to draw Daphne's hair. Jeez. And then after I watched the episode, when I watch the when I read the Wikipedia like episode list, I'm actually very surprised by like the thing where it's like, oh, this was inspired by The Shining, and I'm like, what? I never watched The Shining, so I never got the reference. But there was one episode where they brought up like crypts and creatures, and that was Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, I got that reference too. I do wish the characters are very strong. Like they have very strong personalities. I think the ones that are the most like stable, the one whose character didn't really change in reference to like the previous Scooby-Doos, like Where Are You, Scooby-Doo, was Scooby and Shaggy. Like Velma is a lot more conniving than you would expect from like, I guess, like a kid show. Like the fact that she worked with Mr. E, that really surprised me. Like she wasn't afraid to like manipulate things into her favor. And then Fred was definitely very different. Like this boy was a himbo. Bro was a himbo through and through. Because in the original Scooby-Doo, he was definitely the leader of the group, which, he was. He was definitely the brains of the group, which, well, not brains, but he called the shots, which, he did. But you didn't see any of his emotional immaturity, I guess. You want to play D&D? Go for it. He's a simple man who loves his stuff. He loves those traps. Holy cow. He loves those traps more than he loves, like, anything in the world, really. Except for Daphne by the end. I was really shocked. You know what? No, I'm gonna go in order, right? So, Fred... There were definitely some... When did the show come out? 2010. Some of the things were definitely a bit more... I don't know what the right word for it is. It's not politically incorrect. Like, for example, there was like a scene where there was like the dandy highwayman or something, where he was like kidnapping the town's women, and he was like, all women want to do is just to be listened to. And then Sheriff Bronson Stone was like, listening to women? Who would do that? That's stupid. Dated. I guess dated is a good word. I mean, they are from a small town, so maybe that's kind of a thing. And then, of course, there was the whole, the moment where Fred realizes his feelings towards Daphne. The first time, anyway. He was all like, I'm a man. Man shouldn't have emotions. And in another scene where the sheriff said something like, men don't cry. Or something like that. So I can definitely see moments like that. And I'm like, ah, yes. This is an older cartoon. Sign of the times, as they say. Yeah. But, you know, I don't hate it. I think it's like, maybe it's the nostalgia, but I don't hate it. Do I love it? And the random comments here and there? No. But those are definitely the moments that kick me out, and I'm like, oh, yes, okay. But yes, Fred, our friendly neighborhood himbo. What else? Daphne definitely fulfills her role of the pretty girl. You know, the pretty popular, not really popular, but the pretty hot girl who has a crush on Fred. Like, I knew she was gonna have a crush on Fred. I just feel really bad for her. The whole thing, every time Fred like chooses traps over her, and even when she gets the man, she doesn't get the full man because like 80% of Fred's heart is just traps. She just occupies the other 20%. You're still nostalgic for the 2010s? It was kind of fun and wild, not perfect. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I think that's the joy of the early 2000s, you know? Nowadays, I think everyone keeps striving for perfection, which is... which makes everything feel imperfect. Whereas the past was so imperfect that it feels perfect in our mind. Daphne was definitely going through it. Like, disaster-prone Daphne. Or danger-prone Daphne. She was constantly getting into danger and everything, but, you know... parts of it was definitely, I think, partially because of Fred. I don't know how to describe it, but part of her danger was definitely Fred. Speaking of feeling bad for people, like, I guess I feel really bad for Fred, too. Like, yeah, he's a himbo, But, like, having 2 sets of parents basically betray you is kinda crazy. Like, his family, that that was one of the reveals that shocked me. Like, I guess I shouldn't have because there were definitely signs. And on that note, I don't know how I feel about that ending. With his family, I don't know. It's a good the Mystery Incorporated ended on a good ending. I just as long as I don't think too deeply about it. If I think too deeply about it, then I'll be like, "Oh, well, it actually kinda sucks." For the characters. For the characters, the ending kinda sucks. At least he has a low bar for when he's a parent. No! Oh my god, can you imagine him and Daphne's children? He's gonna be such an absentee parent if he's, like, going by what his parents were like. His parents. He'll definitely be one of those things where it's like, "Please don't be like your father." Like, from the beginning, I kinda hated the parents. Hate is a strong word. I mm, I didn't love the parents, as in, like, Fred's mayor father, mayor dad was always, looking out for profits over Fred. Like, now I understand why, but, like but I didn't love that, none of the adults none of the adults were really there protecting the kids. Rule number 1, protect your kids. Like, geez. Rule number 1 of being a parent, just parent. Be a good parent. Though I guess everyone's, like, definition of a good parent is different. Please don't be like your fathers, right? Your fathers and your mother. Because you can actually say that, right? Like, I got so much whiplash from Fred. Like, first of all, I felt bad for him because, his dad didn't pay him any attention, and then I felt worse for him finding out that his dad was evil, and then I felt bad for him because now he has to go and find his real parents, and I was happy for him because he got his real parents. Okay, I was really sus from them. From day 1, when they just showed up like that, like, "Sir, ma'am, please step out of the house. You broke in." Um But I was sus for that, but I was, like, happy for him. Like, it was a cartoon, who knows, maybe that's just what cartoon parents do, Disappear for, like, 17 years, comes back like nothing has happened. And then, uh and then after I'm happy for him, turns out they're freaking evil too. And I'm like, "Dude." Yeah, it's a whole roller coaster for this poor guy. The timing of the return that made them sus? Yeah. It was, like, really sudden, wasn't it? Um Yeah, they just, like, suddenly show up. And then, like, I don't know, they were also this is probably really weird, but they, not only the timing, but like the way they were, you know, they were just too nice. Too, like, they came in like nothing happened. And that could be explained away like, oh, this is just a children's cartoon, you know? But it was the way they came in, and they immediately were like, "My son!" And it's like, "Oh my god, I love you guys. Anyways, have a seat. We clean up your house for you." It's like, do you know how sus that is? Like, you're not even gonna address the whole. Like, here's the thing. If I was a parent and my kid got kidnapped and then the kidnapper got hauled off to jail and I know where they live, I would not just show up inside their house and like touch all their stuff. Like, I get they were cleaning his house, but I would not be touching their house. That's like breaking and entering. Yes, it was right when they got another puzzle piece. I gotta start blasting my phone with like the fan so that it's not heated up that hard. But yes, they did show up right when they got another puzzle piece. It was the hodag of horror, and I think it was inside the cheese. The puzzle piece was inside the cheese. Hi Fuku! Why did the villains get to have an actual Terminator army? Right? The German bird, that reminds me so much of a certain Austrian. Well, I mean, other than the fact that he was just German, Professor Pericles was German. To be honest, I am so bad at listening to accents. I'm actually quite bad. Like, I don't know how I was a receptionist for a few years. Trying to listen to someone's accent was I had to go back on what Professor Pericles had to say a few times. His accent was so strong, and there were a few times where he actually slipped into actual German, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying, bird. But yeah, sus as heck. And then when, like, we knew that. Did we know at that time that they were part of the original Mystery Inc? I think at the time we kind of knew, right? I don't remember if we knew. Also, Fred's parents sound like a walking and talking infomercial. Oh, we just love traps. Beautiful traps. Yes, thank you, Judy. You're welcome, Brad. Like, hello? You think Velma knew? Velma knew a lot of things. I'm not surprised if she knew. She knew about Cassidy. Your headcanon said they got brainwashed after the betrayal. They kind of did. Because the thing with the planispheric disc is that it corrupted the mind. Right? With the way Professor Ricky and Cassidy were saying is that the planispheric disk, it corrupts. It curses. That's why all the previous mystery solving teams failed. It's because they got corrupt by the treasure. And that's why the Spanish conquistadors kind of the original mystery solving group, I forgot their name already because there were like freaking 5 of them. But the original ones, the ones with the heart of the jaguar, they were about to destroy the evil entity. But then the Spanish conquistadors, they were corrupt by the treasure and they stopped it. And then they ended up hiding the treasure underneath Crystal Cove. Velma got way ahead when she teamed up with Hot Dog Water. That time skip? That time skip, so much happened, and I feel like we still don't know everything. Shaggy went to the military. Scooby went to the farm jail. Daphne hooked up with Baylor Lautner. Fred became a hobo. Is hobo the correct word? He became homeless. And Velma teamed up with Hot Dog Water and Mr. E. Not that okay. The part that really frustrated me, because I feel for these characters, right? I love their group. I hate it when first of all they broke up because Shaggy and Velma broke up. I didn't love the way they broke up because it was like right after the one where Velma was talking to the kid who had a crush on her, right? She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to tell you the truth. Like the two of us, we can never be together." And she was like, "I hope you understand that we can be friends." And I was like, "Oh, that's very mature. That's very sweet." So then, and then she turns to Shaggy, and Shaggy basically tells her the same thing, where it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't be together. You know, I love Scooby too much. I hope we can still be friends." And then Velma kind of flips out. And then that was the end of Mystery Incorporated for a while, and I was like, "What? Velma, girl!" Where is it? The rest of the no. But yeah, I was like, dang it, that's really what's gonna like break the team apart? And then what else? What else? I'm trying to think about what else happened. They somehow when they got back together, the team got back together, but then they fell apart again when I feel like each time the team falls apart, Velma was kind of in the middle of it, whether she wanted to or not. Because the first time it was because Shaggy broke up with Velma. But I think Daphne was also feeling really left behind by Fred. And then the second time they broke apart, I think it was when Velma didn't tell them about Cassidy and they were all blaming, well, at least Daphne was blaming Velma for keeping secrets, which I didn't totally agree with, but this is from an outsider's perspective, and you know, Daphne had things on the line. She was quote unquote engaged to Fred, and then Fred broke it off, or at least broke off their relationship, the same relationship that Daphne has been like wanting for years. But like them blaming Velma for Cassidy not telling them that she was part of the original Mystery Incorporated. Yeah, I just thought that was a really sad moment. I also felt bad for Velma because it's kind of, she's always been so lonely in the show. Like, everyone is paired up. Fred and Daphne, Shaggy and Scooby. Like, and then like every time she has something to say, like everyone's like, oh, sorry, we're hanging out with the other person. I did feel really bad for her, which is why I was really happy for her for Hot Dog Water. That I get that Daphne was part of like the original Mystery Incorporated and that Hot Dog Water was filling in for her. But, you know, at the time I really didn't understand why they had to kick her out. Like, why not have Hot Dog Water and Daphne, you know? Have another superpowered, super brain teenager on your team. And then, but then they kicked her out. And then another thing that drove that home was that when Scooby met Nova, his little doggy girlfriend, they kept Nova. And I'm like, okay, well, I can make the same argument, you know? Why are we keeping Nova when you already have a dog? What's the difference between keeping Nova and keeping Hot Dog Water? Give me Hot Dog Water. Didn't they kick her out because she betrayed them? No, it was because Daphne came back. Right? Did I miss something? Hot Dog Water. Like, Hot Dog Water was a villain in one of the episodes, and then she and Velma teamed up with Mr. E, and then she infiltrated Mystery Inc. on behalf of Mr. E. But then, okay, according to the wiki, it says Hot Dog Water is voted out of the gang. It's like, that's crazy. Like, they just voted her out like that. They sat her down with like cake and stuff, and then they were like, we're sorry. But yeah, I just felt really bad for her. And then like she was so sad when she left. Also, Hot Dog Water definitely has a thing for Velma, and you can't convince me otherwise. They are definitely girlfriends, or if not girlfriends, on the way of being girlfriends. You cannot convince me otherwise. But you go, Velma, having like a super strong, super smart girlfriend. Makes me wonder how Velma and Shaggy got together. Because with Hot Dog Water, you know, I can see it. How they could get together. They're both very similar. But Shaggy? Girl, how'd you end up with him? Yeah, I just felt really bad for her. Okay, I was also surprised, even with like the what's his name? The kid from the Darrow family, the guy who was like stuck inside of his family mansion. Like, I was surprised when they started killing people off. I was like, like they're off-screen deaths, but they're still deaths. Like you don't realize they're like obviously it's like oh maybe they're still alive, you know, nobody no death or whatever, and then they confirm that Cassidy died. But yeah, Hot Dog Water and Velma, a better ship than Fred and Daphne. No, I don't. Did they ever find out that Velma and Hot Dog Water were working together? I don't know if they did. If they did not reset the world, who would know what those... Yeah, the fact that they just let them off into the ocean, they were like, well, not my problem anymore. When they start dying off, you're like, oh, this is serious. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is not a kid's show anymore. Leans forward in chair. Literally, I was like, oh, okay. At what point did I go like, oh, this is... When did I start going like, oh, you know? Oh, you know who I really love? I like those like two teenagers, the ones who are always trying to go on a date, but then like monsters kept crashing it. And then they kept showing up to the next date in more and more injuries. What's their name? Like Crystal and Dylan or something? I don't know, but it's like the popular girl and that one dude, they got kidnapped by like the crab man, and then they showed up on like the amusement park ride, and then they showed up at like Lover's Lane, and they just kept trying to make out, but they kept getting more injured. I love those two. That was such a good running gag. That was so good. I had to show my sister the amusement park one, because my sister used to work at an amusement park, and she worked at pretty much that exact ride. And I was like, yo, you have to come see this. I love those two. I kind of wish that in the ending, I wish we saw those two. That would have been so good. Like, we saw the stupid like football jerks. I wish we saw I wish we saw those guys. You know, if there's a recurring character, I wish we saw them. Unless we did, and I just didn't see it. And you know, with the whole the ending, the epilogue, I like it. I like the way it kind of wrapped things up, but I hate, like, I'm glad that they all get like a happier life, but I hate that they missed out on it. That they were thrown into a whole new life where it's like nothing ever happened, you know? Like, the fact that suddenly Daphne and I feel like some of the changes were so unnecessary. Like, Daphne and Fred are allegedly getting married, which is, like, all good and dandy, but then they also threw in the fact that her sisters are now, like, the disappointments of the family. Like, was it necessary? Like, could they not have, like, still been successful, but, like, now they're accepting of Daphne, and, like, Daphne was also successful too? Instead of making it so that, like, it was the reverse, you know, they're all useless and she's the golden child. And then I guess that was kind of like my main and Fred's parents, uh, he went from having, like, no good parents to suddenly having, like, multiple people who really love and care for him, which is great for him. But, like, I don't know, it just now he has to reconcile that his parents, who tried to kill him multiple times, is now bringing babies into the world and love him very, very much. Which I'm sure they did, you know, without the planet spirit, like the curse's influence. But it just feels like everything that they went through kind of became a moot point. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where, and it was all a dream. You forgot about that? Yeah. And then they went from like they just confessed their feelings towards each other, and now now they're engaged to be married. It's like, wait, imagine that having to either like change it up, tell your parents like, oh, actually, we're not ready to be married quite yet, or trying to like obviously they love each other, but yeah, that's only my like me nitpicking, of course. That's only me nitpicking. Because if I were to nitpick some more, I would be like, oh, the power of friendship. Which honestly, the power of friendship worked in this case. I think the power of friendship worked. It's like why did we go into like where did they go? Like Cancun to get the heart of the jaguar? So why did we go all the way to Cancun to get the heart of the jaguar if the heart of the jaguar was just our friendship all along? Yeah. It did make sense, especially with like the whole past. Um, but I relate to Scooby so much when the what's their name? Like the Anunika? Ananika? When the god was speaking through Nova and he was like, Scooby, you will know. And he's like, know what? And she's like, you will know. And he's like, why can't you just tell me the answer? It's like relatable, hella relatable. Like they're in the middle of like the final battle. They're trying not to die, and then God speaks to Scooby. It's like, you'll know the answer. You'll find out. And Scooby's like, find out what? Tell me. And they're like, when the time is right, you'll find out. That was hilarious. Scooby's like, why can't you just... He's freaking out because his friends are dying and he's just there like, can't you give me a straight answer? right? Like the hero's gonna be Scooby-Doo, and everyone's like, what? And I guess Scooby doesn't get the girl at the end. Because then he goes off to college with the gang, and then Nova at the end just goes like, "You're the bravest dog ever, Scooby-Doo," and that was it. Like, does that mean that the god has officially taken over Nova? Does Scooby not get the girl after all this, and he doesn't get the girl? I mean, granted, Shaggy didn't get the girl either, but you know. But what else? What else? Oh, speaking of Nova, the one part in the entire show that scared me, okay? The show didn't scare me. But the one part that did was freaking Nova when she was in her coma and she just suddenly sits up and she goes, Nibiru. And then she collapses again. I was like, what the hell just happened? She just jolts away. She goes, Nibiru. And then the what? That actually got me to like, Oh, another character I really liked was Vincent Van Gogh. What an icon. He is the definition of fake it till you make it. Like that first scene where we see him actually interact with the gang with like Scooby and Shaggy, where he invites them over for dinner, and then he turns out like there's a monster chasing after him, and they're like, "Oh, you have to act as bait. Don't show him you're scared. That's what he wants." And he's like, "But I am scared." And they're like, "Well, you're an actor. Just act like you're not." And he was like, "Okay." And bro locked in. Bro locked in so hard. And then, of course, at the end, he collapses. But I actually really liked him. I like that he really liked the gang, too. I feel like characters in the show don't give Shaggy and Scooby enough credit, but I think Vincent Van Gogh did. And I like that. Forgot about him. Well, he is like just a minor character. So not surprising. But I think I really liked him. That's why he stayed on my mind. Plus, I just watched it. Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh's a great character. Who else? Who else? Cassidy! Yay! Oh, I really liked one episode I really liked. I really loved the Krampus episode. Actually, I loved any episode that they were able to fight. I think there was the episode with the super dog where Velma and Daphne actually got down and started like just brawling. That was really cool. I really liked that. And then the Krampus episode where you think it's just an everyday villain type of episode, just to find out everything was orchestrated by the gang. even with Mayor Dad. I was like, that's really cool. I really like that. Because a lot of the time, the gang is just like reacting to a mystery, but this time they were the ones to create the mystery. Suck on that, Professor Hercules. You're not the only mastermind around here. Like the reveal at the end, where you think they got the planispheric disc, just for there to be a video of them going like, "Nya nya." And of course, it was really heartbreaking by the end, because that was the one where Fred finally confronted his parents, like, "I know it was you. I had hoped it wasn't gonna be, but it was you. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. Goodbye." And then they stole Nova. That one was a really good episode. Yeah, when they finally put to learn the truth. You know, obviously this is just a kids show, but obviously I'm like, why did you leave them just let them think that you have, just let them keep the replicas. Don't tell them it's a replica. Just no. But obviously it's for the plot. It's for the plot. Obviously. But I was like, why did you tell them that you would don't tell them your plan? Hello, Jaden. But yeah, I was like, don't tell them your plan. Why would you do this? What else? I like the way the show keeps bringing back characters. It wasn't just like the couple that keeps coming back as a recurring gag, but the other characters kept coming back too. Like the kid who had a crush on Velma, Jason. I was surprised that Alice Makes came back. I was surprised that Hot Dog Water came back. The professor, that professor who wrote that book and then ended up getting beaten out by Twilight or whatever, he came back. What am I searching for? Ricky Owens. Exactly, they live here. You should see them again. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. The fact that they kept coming back. Jaden, I already said hello. Please don't spam. Um, where was? Oh yeah, I guess like Ricky really let himself go. I was gonna say, they were really solidified Professor Hercules's evilness, injecting snake venom into Ricky's spine to control him. That was crazy. That was after they killed Cassidy, right? He killed Cassidy. I like to think that you know, Ricky wa Ricky was getting corrupt, and then I like to think that, the death of Cassidy really brought him back. Because after that, he was like, "Cassidy would be really disappointed in you guys." I'm glad they got their happily ever after. That's alright, Jaden. As long as you know, and don't do that again. Um, you knew he was evil, but sometimes you weren't sure, and other times he's no, he's definitely evil. That was kind of Professor Hercules in, like, season 1, and then, like, season 2, they ramped up like, his evilness was kind of like this, and then season 2 happened, and then his evil counter just kinda went all the way up like that. It's like, "Holy cow." "Hey, Devin." "Alright, bye, Jaden. Thanks for stopping by." Um, what was I saying? Yeah, Professor Hercules, like, you realize like, in season 1, it's like, "Oh, this guy could be good, could be bad." Um he went to jail, but, like, he's a bird. The fact that they had a dedicated jail for evil animals was great. You guessing when it came to Mr. E, like, Mr. E felt like such a credible threat. The thing with Mr. E is that you also didn't know if he was a friend or foe, because like, in season 1, he was still helping them on mysteries. Mysteries. Like, every once in a while, he'll send, like, over a clue, like a hint in his, like, letters or something. So I felt like he was on their side, but, like, also on their side so that he can get what he wants, but, like, his clues actually helped them. Also, I 100% should have expected that Mr. E owned Destroidal. Jeez. Thank you, thank you. I feel like I've never drawn an actually proper image of Daphne. It never looks like her. If Velma's more your type. Unfortunately for you, Velma's taken by hot dog water. Who knew that Velma X hot dog water was going to be my OTP of Scooby Doo? I sure didn't. I do. What happened to Alice Mays again? Did she get thrown? She got thrown back into jail, right? And then Mr. E didn't help her out the second time. He helped out like hot dog water. I kind of wish they didn't like make him skinny in like the after in the end. Like I kind of wish they kept him looking like this, just a little bit more like put together. Like they skinnified him in the ending. That moment when hot dog water walks away, seeing Velma happy with the gang, and she was like, "I have to leave." I love them. They're so good. My ship is better than your ship, and my ship is just hot dog water X Velma. So just yeah. But you know what? It's good. It's like good cartoon writing, you know? Oh, I also really loved, speaking of hot dog water, when she joined the gang and then she took Daphne's place and then they changed up the intro for her. And like, you know how in the intro Daphne kisses that picture of like Fred? And instead with hot dog water, since she's taking the place of Daphne, she has a picture of Velma and they're like she's hugging it. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cute." That's the shit for real, for real. Okay, who should I draw next? Who- Let's draw some like lesser known, lesser, the more minor characters. Uh, where is he? Where's my king? My fake it to make it king. Oh my god, they have a Vincent Van Gogh like plushie. That's so good. That's so funny. Uh, oh, Hanna-Barbera, that one episode where Scooby's always the main character, but that episode where it was, like, the mascots and they had to save the Scooby Gang or, like, the Mystery Incorporated gang and, like, the other mystery solvers. Scooby is not a mascot. He's part of the team. At any point did I solve the mystery before the show reveal? No. To be honest. Oh, any I knew it moment? Only the really shallow ones, like, oh, the mom and dad were evil, Brad and Judy were evil, I knew it, called it, you know? Um, a few of, like, the the villain of the whatever times, I was like, "Oh, I knew it," kinda thing. Moments like that, it was more like I knew it. I feel like the overarching story didn't really have any real mystery. It was more like just a story. Yeah, I feel like the overarching story, um, hmm, let me think. Knife Fight, Vincent Van Gogh, I love that guy. I was surprised about Cassidy being part of the I guess, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised by Cassidy being part of the original Mystery Inc. Mayor Jones being I wasn't expecting Mayor Jones to be the freak of Crystal Cove, I think that was the name, or I think it was just the freak, but I wasn't expecting Mayor Jones to be the freak, but I knew he had something to do with the mystery, you know? But he could have also just been some really dumb mayor. Like, definitely some of the characters, the 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 daily villains I got. Like, the one where it was, like, that undead sheriff that showed up, I knew who that was. It was pretty easy to guess who that one would be, but in terms of the actual mystery, uh, mm, no. I can't think of anything for real. I think one of the I think there were a few episodes where I was, like, meh about. I think at the Andy Warsaw one, I was meh about. It was like, "Okay." So, the one where, they were stuck in that library, I think I was meh about. What was the main mystery? I think the main mystery like I said, it wasn't so much a mystery as it was just story, because they find I think it all started with Daphne finding a locket or a key or something when during the first episode, and then they were just told to find the treasure under Crystal Cove. It wasn't so much as, "Oh, what happened to this?" or "Who, what, where, when, why." It was more of, "There's a treasure," or "There was an original Mystery Inc. What happened to them?" Like, I think that was kind of a mystery, sort of, but it felt like more of a question. I guess the mystery was more, "Who is Mr. E? What does he want from us?" Um, it's not like there was a of evil business owners all trying to get rid of the I mean, there was a bunch of business owners wanting to get rid of the oh, trying to get rid of those damn kids. Everyone in Crystal Cove just wanted to get rid of, Mystery Incorporated because they run off of, like, tourism, and Mystery Incorporated was, like, destroying their tourism by, like, solving mysteries or something. So, the business owners did hate them. Okay, okay, Gramps. Well, let's move your hairline down. There we go. It was, what was the treasure and why did every previous Mystery Incorp Yeah, basically, but it wasn't, like, a mystery in terms of, like, "Oh, who's the monster?" type of thing. They didn't even know there was a monster until, like, pretty late in the show. But yeah, in the 2nd season, it definitely felt like we were given information left, right, and center. Like, I'm looking at the Scooby Doo Wikipedia right now at the episodes, and, for example, the Wikipedia episode list, it tells us what the overarching mystery events are. So season 1, overarching mystery events. Uh, episode 1, a locket shaped like a magnifying glass found in the Crystal Cove caves and a call from Mr. E. Episode 2, hotel sign that says the dog dies. And the note claiming that Gatorsburg is one piece of the puzzle. And then there's like no other overarching mystery until event until episode 6. An old Crystal Cove High School yearbook, including introducing the gang to the original Mystery Incorporated. And revelation that Alice May was working for Mr. E, who wanted the gang to investigate a specific mystery concerning the disappearance of 4 children and their parrot. And then after that, all the little mystery events have all just been like one sentence. The revelation of a feud between Hercules and Mr. E. And then once you got into season 2, overarching events, like for example, episode 11 of season 2. The lost original settlement of Crystal Cove, which vanished over 3 centuries ago, now submerged beneath the sea. Its inhabitants, missionaries, were the conquistadors who were the source of Crystal Cove's curse. The base revealed to have been constructed by Frau Abigail Gluck, a member of an old mystery-solving group, the Benevolent Lodge of Mystery. Her body whispers Nibiru upon its discovery, the final piece of the planispheric disc found by Professor Hercules. Like, it really, really ramped up in season 2. I still can't believe they spoofed the Team Jacobs guy. That was great. Baylor Lautner. And the fact that poor Daphne, freaking Daphne, girl, why do you have such bad luck with love? She's had 2 boyfriends go evil on her. Or 2 dates that went evil on her. Mr. E, it was that transparent. Yeah, Mr. E, Mr. E. Benevolent Lodge of Mystery. Yeah, and people say Lost was convoluted. But yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really remember the names of all the mystery groups. Obviously, I know New Mystery Incorporated, Old Mystery Incorporated, Benevolent Lodge of Mysteries, the Spanish Conquistadors. Well, they weren't really mystery solvers, the Spanish Conquistadors. Um, actually, what were their names? Um, I know there was that one Spanish group that had a bull named Tiny. The Benevolent Lodge of Mystery. Where are the other groups? The Original Mystery Incorporated, the Benevolent Lodge of Mystery, New Mystery Incorporated, Alianza Mysterio, and Mystery Fellowship. Ah, yes. Fraternitas Mysterium, the Hunters of Secret. Yes, 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 yes. I remember what they look like. I don't remember their names. My bad. El Fuchi. They're skunk. Daphne was also a figure. I remember there was a Daphne in Greek mythology. But then I don't think that would make sense because Daphne, mm, I don't know. I guess you could draw that parallel, but would a cartoon made in the 1970s really have drawn conclusions between a Greek mythology retelling and Daphne Blake in 1970s when they were still making slightly racist undertones in some of their jokes? You like the sheriff and mayor's romance subplot? That was really funny. The fact that he started off hating her because he was supposed to be mayor as the sheriff and then ended up having, like, 3 kids together. Y'all, they just wanted to have a date. But no, these meddling kids just had to get in the way of all their dates. Imagine living in the town. Can we just get one normal week? To be fair, they like the monsters. The town likes their monsters. That's how they make money. In fact, they hate the team for solving mysteries. Remember that one episode where they had like 2 monsters destroying the town? And turns out and then they were like people were really happy about it because the construction crew got so much money out of it. 'Cause they would have to keep getting hired to, like, fix the buildings, and they wanted to, like, make some sort of contract with the monsters, and it turns out the monsters were, like, just 2 brothers with, like, insurance companies who wanted to keep destroying buildings so that they get more money. And then Velma's mom works in, like, a freaking mystery shop. She's out here forcing Velma into T-shirts advertising monsters. No, you meddling I love that moment where I think it was hot dog water? Where we captured her at the amusement park, and then, um and then Fred was like, "Oh, there's something missing. Something doesn't feel right." And then the fortune teller machine spits out a little note that was like and then the hot dog rider reads that little note, it's like, "You will be destroyed by some meddling kids," or something like that, and then Fred was like, "Oh, there we go." Didn't the brothers have beef and was destroying each other's Yeah, they were, but, like, it's also insurance. But what I mean is, like, the town was pretty happy about that because they got money out of it, they got insurance money, and then the building people got work out of it. The only people who wanted to actually solve the mystery were Mystery Incorporated. Honestly, some of the recurring jokes were so good. Hold on, I feel like I need to write down some of these jokes. Obviously, there's, like, the 2 teenagers that who are constantly just on a date. What were their names? Was it Casey? Her name. What was their name? Is there a list of characters? Okay, you know what? I am gonna go and find that episode and hot dog water. Which episode? Episode 21. Let me just watch the beginning of this episode real quick so I can figure out their names. Because I am actually curious. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? I'm looking for the names of like the two teenagers who kept trying to make out but kept getting attacked. Da, da, da. It was like Dylan. How do you spell Dylan? I've never met anyone named Dylan before. Dylan. Dylan. Brenda! Dylan and Brenda. It was you guys don't wanna see what I was Googling. I was like, "Dylan? Dylan? Dylan?" Uh, Dylan and Brenda, that was a really good gag. Oh, you know what else was a really good gag? Um, that family, the family that kept going on road trips, but they kept getting lost because the dad kept driving them somewhere. That one was a really good gag too. Um, Brenda only met older ladies. There are some names that feel very, like, matured. What were some other good recurring gags? Obviously, like, the sheriff. Okay, first of all, I love the sheriff's full name. His first name is Sheriff, and I love that it became, like, a gag that he just couldn't arrest anyone properly. Like, he was self-aware enough that I think who was it? I think it was Velma who was like, "I got the guy." And then the sheriff was like, "No, I never arrest the right guy. It never works out for me." And she's like, "I promise. Don't you want to arrest the right guy?" And then they finally got the right guy, but then the mayor was like, "Oh, he actually has diplomatic immunity." And the sheriff was like, "No, this always happens. I'm never arresting anyone ever again." This guy was a gag all on his own. That's like Dr. Stone. It's never lupus when you have Dr. Stone. Not Doc why am I saying Dr. Stone? Oh my god. I'm mixing up Sheriff Stone and Dr. House. But yeah, Sheriff Stone, honestly, 10 out of 10 would ship Sheriff Stone with, Mayor Jones. Mm. I think Dr. Stone is an anime. Dr. Bun. That's the guy with the funny hair. Yeah, the guy whose hair looks like a leek or something. Yes, leek hair! Oh, you know what was really crazy that I didn't mention? The fact that, when the original Mystery Incorporated, like, their mental state was, like, going downhill, the fact that Brad and Judy actually got plastic surgery in order to trick the new Mystery Incorporated. What? Like, guys, do you not know about special effects makeup? Oh, wait, hold up, I wanna show you guys something. Oopsie. Give me a moment. Let me find it. I just searched up, like, funny moments in Mystery Incorporated, and I feel like we need to go through this together. Oh, wait, I just realized my music's gone. Oh, well. Okay, we are gonna go through this list together because it's so good. Is this big enough? Maybe not. Oops. There we go. I can zoom in. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated funny moments. I think I can zoom in a bit more. I think that's big enough for you guys to see as well. Even from the first episode, no one seems to find it slightly odd that Scooby is both sapient and can talk and attends high school. Yes, I love TV tropes, like their moments. Everything about Fred's ridiculously complex trap, from the fact that he does absolutely nothing while it's happening to the spectacular failure. Oh, that's great. The foreman's brilliance that he informs his subordinates that the barrels with the radioactive signs means that it's dangerous, which means they must open it right away. This exchange with the villain. But you got a job as a teacher. Why do you need more money? Oh, oh, right. My bad. That one was so good. It even applies now. Velma's deadpan, enthusiastic droning while she works as the guide. The first documented case of the Curse of Crystal Cove is from 1630, when a garrison of Spanish conquistadors mysteriously vanished from the harbor. Oh, that's so scary. Where did they go? What part of mystery didn't you understand? That was so good. It's not your fault, Fred. We all helped steal the body. He, Fred ran away with that body like it was a surfboard, I remember. She was so done. Thank you, thank you. I worked very hard on my deadpan. But, like, why can't Daphne and Velma do this instead? Because Velma and I refused. Daphne discovering Fred's swimsuit edition of Traps Illustrated. Freddie! I read it for the articles. The fact that he's telling the truth is even funnier. Um, Can you see the problem, Fred? Well, you see that big hole over there? That should be an engine. Traps Illustrated. How many editions do you think they sell? They have like a Traps convention too. So like Daphne continuing her mother's food/food metaphor. But I don't even like meat. I like vegetables. Like Fred, which considering Fred's level of intellect in this series is oddly appropriate. Uh, oh, IRL? No, in the show, there was like a Traps convention which Fred took Daphne for their date. Has to have a Traps calendar? Hell yeah. It's a whole thing. You know how traps can refer to people as well? Imagine saying that to someone in the modern day. It's like, "Yeah, he's really into traps." "You realize you were speeding?" "Yes, officer." "Okay, as long as you know." Fred trying to comfort Daphne by promising her he'll never have a feeling again. Oh my god, Freddie. Oh, poor Daphne. The fact that people fell for the diet water scam. Daphne puts sun oil because she knows Fred likes shiny things, and it works. Fred, we have to get her back. I don't know what to do. And she was so shiny. The villain at the end explaining how she convinced every kid in town to play along with her scheme. I offered them utopia. When that didn't work, I offered them candy. We need her. She was shiny. That's the only reason why they want Daphne. Scooby comforting Fred after his breakdown. Freddie, you're a special boy. Thorne tells Daphne the story of an old boyfriend of hers that ignored her. When Thorne asks, "Do you know what I did to get over him?" Daphne suggests cut the brakes on his van. Scooby wasn't wrong. Yeah, he Freddie is a special boy. Fred not understanding that Daphne and Crush are the same person. Is Daphne here? I need to talk to her. Daphne's gone. Call me Crush. Darn it, lady, I'm serious. Where's Daphne? But also this part when Fred was talking about how men don't have feelings, like they're not supposed to cry, they're not supposed to have feelings. And Fred goes, "I need to tell you something, and I need you to listen. I'm not a guy anymore. I have feelings. I care." Like Jesus Christ. Oh, definitely a sign of the times, or maybe it's not even sign of the times, maybe it's just Fred. After Mr. E gives his clue to the gang, uh, Scooby, "That's it?" "Yes, that's right." Uh, according to Mrs. Dinkley's tour, the official scent of Crystal Cove is formaldehyde. That's not concerning at all. Fred tries to weaponize Velma's complexion against a vampire. "Quick, Velma! Set your milky whiteness for stun!" Uh, the running gag that comes up whenever Hatecraft mentions his novel. "The shrieking madness of Chargar Gothicon, the beast that hath no name." But you just named it. It's Chargar Gothicon. Oh, I forgot this guy. When Mystery Incorporated broke up, and then Daphne temporarily joined like the protest group, and then like later on in the show, or they turns out they were the villain who was destroying the planet so that they could make money for the protests on protecting the planet. Like, dude, do you know what you're saying? Uh, it's like you're gonna destroy the planet so that you can save the planet. Ernesto Che Guevara? What is that? What does that mean? I don't speak another language. The argument Fred and Daphne have before Fred decides to accuse the biology teacher. "Daphne, you're making a big mistake, Fred. Big mistakes is what I do." He was a communist. Oh, that was a real person? "Fred, where have you been? That thing could have attacked you and we wouldn't have had any pictures." "Oh, Dad, you do care." The carnival's haunted house is so pathetic it doesn't even scare Shaggy and Scooby. Well, all I had to do was break into the military armory, steal a rocket launcher, grab someone to hack the train, reroute said train, board the train from a moving motorcycle, defeat the train's security system, blow up the bridge the train was on, and na 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 na. Yes, I think this episode, Escape from Mystery Manor, I think this episode is entirely on YouTube, which is how, I was like, "Should I watch it?" And then I Googled it and they were like, "No," and I was like, "Okay." And then you guys were like, "Yes," and I was like, "Okay." Mm. Ladies and gentlemen of the press and smelly activists in need of shower. Yeah, Shaggy and Scooby have seen some things, but they still get scared, so the fact that they weren't scared of the haunted house really meant something. Right, this one where, the group's reaction learning that the environmental activists were planning to drill for oil to make money to fund more protests. "You are doing this for cash? You have no idea how expensive it is to be a grassroots activist. Sometimes you have to kill the environment in order to protect it." No, I don't think that's right. Yes, the couple who were the first victims of the man crab, I love that couple. Dylan and Brenda, chef's kiss. Fred obsessively scheduling everything Daphne does. Apparently, one day is 12 parts long. No, no, Daphne, we don't have hugs scheduled until later this afternoon. Well, looking at the video of the haunting of Fred's mansion, could someone have access to your traps to use them against your father? Well, they'll have to outsmart me first. I mean, come on. Hmm. Hercules acknowledges that despite being an evil genius, he didn't have to do anything special to hijack Fred's traps because his password is Trappin' Man. Uh, Mayor Jones fires Sheriff Stone and appoints Dead Justice as the town's new sheriff on the grounds that he doesn't have to pay a ghost. Stone defiantly states that he can strip him of his rank, but he'll still be Sheriff Bronson Stone because that's his full legal name his mama planned ahead. Uh, oh yeah, the Twilight parody. Yes, yes, yes. That hate craft got up upstarted, out outsold by. I forgot this. Forgive the mess. I've been trying to get into the spirit of a teenage girl. I've tentatively called my novel The Disinterment of Groth Van Anuroth. Yo yo. Yo yo yo. What do you think? Too urban? Oh boy. Imagine reading a teenage vampire novel, The Disinterment of Groth Van Anuroth. Yo yo yo. Uh, what's a misanthrope convention? What's a misanthrope? Baylor Hotner, hell yeah. So the writers clearly have a fondness for Twilight jokes at this point. Misanthropes are perpetually dissatisfied. Makes sense because he was always dissatisfied. How long were you standing there? Don't try that. You know the concept of time escapes me. Also, the whole thing about, like, the what is it? The football, soccer team hating Fred, but Fred's like, "Oh, they still love me." It's like, "Dude, no." I look hot blurry. I like that they still kept, like, the humorous moments in the show, even as things got more serious. Oh, yes, the moment oh my god, Shaggy and Daphne kissing. I forgot all about that. Holy cow, the moment when they kissed, I what? The moment Fred, Scooby, and Velma barge into Shaggy's room and see Shaggy and Daphne kissing each other, which renders both Fred and Scooby catatonic. After snapping Shaggy and Daphne out of it, they can't seem to wake up the other two. What if their minds are permanently gone? How could we tell? Uh, we brought ointment. Cassidy aims and cocks her gun to shoot a bot behind them. She hates ointment! Mr. E's first attempt to derail Mystery Inc.'s latest investigation is foiled by the sheriff. The sheriff refused to arrest the gang. He's a dimwit. That's not news. Destroido is having a charity ball tonight for the victims of his product. Yes. Uh, Scare Bear bomb? I didn't set a bomb. Scooby, you can talk? Oh, the fact that freaking Scooby's like, you can talk? Dude, you're a talking dog. Uh, ooh, I love this episode, Wrath of the Krampus. When looking up information about Nibiru, Velma reads word for word the Wikipedia article for the Nibiru Cataclysm. Really? Velma also refers to it as her favorite online encyclopedia. Did she really? Hold up. Wait, where? Which one though? Which sentence did she read? I don't remember which sentence she might have read. The Nibiru Cataclysm is a supposed disastrous encounter between Earth and a large planetary object that certain groups believed would take place in the early 21st century. Believers in the Doomsday event usually refer to this object as Nibiru or Planet X. I guess maybe that? Yeah, maybe it could be an old version. Look! The dragon! It's uploading information from the computer through its claws! It's a reasonable guess. Oh my god, yes, the avocados joke! It's like, "What are you doing here, avocado?" It's avocados. The amount of that joke also happened, like, in 3 episodes, to the point where I think even Scooby was like, "It's avocados." I mean, at this point, I guess avocados was kind of low-key forced to become a criminal, you know? They destroyed his avocado farm. Um, he was fired from, like, something else, and then he became a janitor, but then, like, that janitor job was also a scam. I don't know. After tricking the titular herd into running off a cliff into the ocean, the gang discovered that, being part piranha, the mutant cows can swim. What have we done? You mean other than release a natural super predator into the environment? Best to just walk away from this one, kids. Just walk away. Shaggy, Scooby, why isn't it affecting you? I'm a dog. Music is just noise to us. And like you've heard me saying, I'm totally tone deaf. I love it when they're very like um, conscious. Like they're very self-aware, self-aware. You know, Fred, with everything that's happening, it makes you realize how precious life is. It kind of makes you wa- uh, not waste time and just tell certain people how you feel, doesn't it? I think I'm ready now. I'm ready to hearing how you feel. You mean like emotions or something crazy like that? Well, right now, I guess kind of. Yes, hungry. I feel hungry. Hungry is not an emotion, Fred Jones. Food based demons? Yes! Dr. Spartan explaining about the different types of food based demons and how he couldn't catch the olive oil demon. Slippery devil. After the dandy highwayman robs Daphne's parents, I lost her and I wasn't even trying this time. Fred and Shaggy's big takeaway from the mystery: how to listen to women, i.e., stick wax in their ears and pretend to listen. Oh, guys. Well, gang, it looks like we've got another mystery on our hands. Oh, Fred, we're such soulmates. We're finishing each other's sandwiches, sentences. Oh, come on, let's split up and search for clues. Well, I guess that means we're all soulmates. How Fred figured out Daphne as well. Fake. First, he tested her earlier, and she didn't know where Fred and Daphne had their first date. And the biggest clue, she said jeepies. Daphne says jeepers. Velma says jinkies. Nobody says jeepies. That would just be silly. You don't get the trope. Women are easier. Ah. Trying to explain what happens when the gang and Mayor Nettles were away. There I was talking to my deputy, and whoosh, he was gone, pulled down below. Please, Bronson, you're scaring me. I'm scaring myself, and I hate it. I hate it. Make me stop. At the beginning of the uprising, Sheriff Stone gives a speech on how he must start the uprising because he loves Mayor Nettles. It was pretty heartwarming and at the same time awesome to see the characters give a serious speech. Of course, they had to put one funny line in there somewhere for all the times I arrested the wrong person. Uh, the fact that Professor Hercules actually makes his robots take Nova down below in the mines while she was still in her hospital bed. This is addressed during the uprising. Listen, everybody, follow me to freedom. And will somebody please take that sweet little dog in a coma? Thank you. I'm glad everyone thinks that Nova is sweet. Honestly, I didn't like Sheriff Stone in the beginning, but he grows on you like mold, you know? Scooby pleads for Nova to tell him how to defeat the entity, and he responds that he will know in his heart what to do. He responds with a frustrated, seriously? Just tell me what to do. Grows on you like mold. It's not a good thing. I mean, he's still a little weird. The goofy bit twist on the gang's defeat of the big bad is the fact that the fate of the entire universe boils down to Shaggy tossing his dog a stick. Oh, I didn't even make that connection. That's so good. The look on both Shaggy and Scooby's faces upon seeing the alternate Ricky Owens and Cassidy Williams kissing during a commercial, and Professor Hercules, the big bad, is their sponsor. Hercules' happy and goofy tone sells the moment. After spending the whole series being a constant source of nightmare fuel, seeing Hercules like this is hilarious. Oh, that was really good. I like Mystery Incorporated. What am I supposed to do now that it's done? I'm gonna have to like Scooby Doo, Where Are You? The new Scooby Doo movies, the Scooby Doo show. Guys, I have so much to catch up on. Oh my god, they have a Japanese one to be announced? Yokoso, Scooby Doo, Yokoso, RB Birdman, Attorney at Law. I can't. There should be plenty to watch. What am I supposed to do once it's over? I'm gonna be bereft. I gotta write fan fiction. Mm, you know that feeling of, like, writing fan fiction when you know that the kids are kids, and you're like, plus I'm not a writer. I like reading. I like reading. I'm a reader, not a writer. I can't write to save my life. I don't think I'm gonna see, here's the thing, I don't think I'm gonna watch Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo because I don't like Scrappy. Like, I don't like him, but I also don't, like, hate him, you know? I'm like, "Eh." But why are there so many episodes of it? Give me more episodes of Scooby-Doo. What's new Scooby-Doo? And then there's Velma. Have I seen No, I actually haven't watched any of these except for Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Oh, wait, Velma is, animated? Maybe that means you got some episodes to write and pitch. Hell yeah! Yeah, I can see why people this is definitely like a I am not Starfire situation. There's a live Yes, I heard that the live actions were really, really good. Yeah, the films. My friend said that the live action films are really good. They said that if I were to watch anything, I should watch, the live action films. Mm. But yay! I'm so glad I finished Mr. Incorporated. I didn't I need la, 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 la. Older cartoons are so good. I love older cartoons. Anyways, I'll probably keep you guys updated on Discord about, about about my Scooby Doo journey. You guys will hear all about it probably on uh Discord, probably on stream once in a while. It is quite late, but Scooby Doo. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. You guys go see your pun sensei. But yes, I'm gonna go eat dinner. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for listening to me yap about Scooby Doo for like 2 hours. uh, all right. Bye bye, guys. Take care.